Hey guys, welcome back to Alfredino. First of all, a Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you had a great Christmas and that you kicked the new year off with a bang. I certainly did. I spent it a whole day lying on the couch with a bad case of the cold. It's been a little while, I know, so I just wanted to give a quick update on the channel and explain where I've been, and most importantly talk about what's coming up next. And yes, there is things to look forward to in 2026. I decided to pause the channel for a little while after I had a few chats with some of you that follow this channel, and the message was quite clear. More car and less of me talking to a camera. Which kind of makes this video a little bit ironic because here I am talking to a camera. But no, I get it. I totally understand. And so for 2026, we're aiming to do a lot more of that, a lot more of videos that involve the car. And it also brings me on to the first bit of good news for 2026. We're currently trying to pull together the funds to give Alfredo's engine the full care that it needs so that we can let the engine roar the way it was supposed to. And that if we do make videos of the car, that it's not just boring videos of an engine that can't rev over 2000 RPM. So yeah, that's the first bit of good news. Now, because the car came without any form of service history, we have no idea what we're going to be finding out once we do, put the engine in for a full service. Best case scenario is just going to be painful. Worst case scenario, we're going to be finding out things that we didn't want to find out, and all of those surprises will just basically add on to the financial pain. But either way, we're committed to getting it done and, hopefully making 2026 a really great year for Dino. Now, if you do want to chip in and take away a little bit of that burden, check out my Ko-fi page and make a donation if you want to. Some people have already done that, and with the amount that I have through the Ko-fi page at this moment in time, I'm already able to dedicate that to, for example, a new header tank, which is kind of insane, to be honest, because when I started this journey, I never really kind of thought any of this would be possible. So for the people that have donated, thank you so much. Now, although I haven't been uploading videos, I have been busy, and I mean very busy. I've been researching and collecting data now for well over a decade, and maybe one day that will become a book. I've also found a partner in crime who wants to write a book with me, which is fantastic. That person is much more into the technical nitty-gritty. I am much more into the history of things, the history of Alfredo Ferrari, the history of the engine that came to be named after him, the history of the brand that became named after him, and very specifically, of course, this car, the GT4. The GT4 does deserve to share the spotlight with that other Dino, the 26246, and yes, arguably that is the more beautiful car. But the GT4 has got a much more complex and interesting history, and in my opinion, it makes that car actually the more interesting of the two. And yes, I do have grown to absolutely love that Gandini design. If you don't love it yet, have a couple of looks at the car, and I'm sure you're going to start appreciating that design. It is drop dead gorgeous. Let me give you an example of how absurd my life has become ever since I became the caretaker of Alfredo. Someone once asked me the question, where were the body panels of the GT4 met? Sounds straightforward, right? Well, welcome to the GT4 rabbit hole. Some say Scaglietti. In a lot of Ferrari documentation, it says Scaglietti. Some very important Ferrari historians say no, it was actually Bertoni who met them in Grugliasco. So to find out the truth, I thought I'm gonna have to find out people who were there when it was met. And as some important people pointed out that it was Bertoni in Grugliasco, I tried to get in contact with ex-Bertoni employees who worked in Grugliasco, which I did manage to do. And from that, it brought me on to a telephone conversation with Nuccio Bertone's right-hand man and personal friend, Gianbeppe Panico. That phone call is honestly something I will never ever forget. Listening to his stories of what were arguably the most interesting times in Italian automotive history was simply an honor that I kind of thought was too much for me. And now, while I didn't get a definitive answer to that particular question, Mr. Panico was able to tell me that Bertoni never had anything to do in relation to the production of the GT4. But I also found out that Nuccio Bertoni himself said that the body panels of the GT4 were made by Scaglietti from 1976 onwards. So who made them before that time? And then at the end of that telephone conversation, Mr. Panico said, if I ever end up in Turin, come and look him up and say hello. That is just absolutely madness. So I then tried the same thing on the Scaglietti side, trying to get in contact with people that worked in Scaglietti in the 1970s, or people that knew people that worked in Scaglietti in the 1970s. And that led me on to someone who has, in a very short period of time, actually has become a very close friend of mine. He didn't work in Scaglietti himself, but he had a lot of connection with people that did work in Scaglietti. Some real Scaglietti legends, I have to say, people like Afro Ghibellini, and he even knew Oscar Scaglietti himself quite well. So after a lot of chats and a lot of checking with those people and then cross-referencing all the information that we were managing to find out, we believe that we have found the answer. And the truth is, nobody actually got it completely right so far. Some were partially right, others were completely wrong, but nobody got it completely right. And this is really big. And the answer I will keep for maybe another episode or for the book itself. But I just want to point out that that's the sort of investigation, that's the sort of research that I really love doing. And then came another shock. Turns out that the grandparents of my new friend were actually living next door to Enzo Ferrari's trusted housekeeper, the woman that was looking after Alfredo Ferrari during the day. For the first time ever, I was hearing stories of people that actually interacted with Alfredo Ferrari. To me, that was just stuff that gave me goosebumps. For the first time ever, I feel like I had a real picture of who Alfredino was, not just you know, this person of legends, the myth, the purely just the son of. He was also able to tell me stories of Modena in those days, how people actually looked at Enzo Ferrari and his creations, and how Enzo himself used to go and pick up Alfredino in his creations, and the sort of reaction that that caused in the community, which were absolutely amazing stories. I've also been able to actually locate that exact courtyard that all of these things, all of these stories happened in on Google Maps, and well, obviously that's definitely going to be a stop on my road trip to Italy. I've also officially registered my request to get access to the Bertoni files in the State Archives in Rome. They're not accessible just yet, they're still being digitized, but as soon as they are accessible, I am planning to do a trip to Rome to look into those documents. And maybe, just maybe Mr. Panico wants to join me. That would really be something else. I'd also love to go to Milan with Mr. Panico, if ever possible, to go and view Nuccio Bertone's GT4 that they have there. That would be really cool. Mr. Panico used to drive this car on quite some different occasions, but as Mr. Panico himself said, Nuccio Bertone was very jealous of the steering wheel. I've also been able to uncover a couple of other really big things, things that really changed my opinion or what I thought I knew about Enzo Ferrari, about how the Dino Mark came to be, about Alfredino, all sorts of stuff. But I think I'm going to leave that for another video. A lot of it I will actually talk about in my next video. I'm currently working on a reaction video to my all-time favorite Dino YouTube video, which is the one by Jason Camissa from Haggerty Media. It's still my all-time favorite Dino video on YouTube, but it turns out not everything is 100% accurate. Now, this is not criticism or this is not disrespect. I just want to respectfully share what I have uncovered and add a bit more context to that story. And yes, hopefully it will generate a bit of interest for this channel and for the sort of research work that I'm trying to do. So here's my wish list for 2026. Getting Alfredo's engine fully sorted. Loads of driving videos, obviously, and you know, hopefully, you know, Alfredo to the limit, not just to sticking under 3,000 RPM, but letting that engine roar. A track day, hopefully, that would be really cool. There is a racetrack here really close by, Zolder race circuit, which would be really cool to do a track day on, if possible. Everyday life content, just kind of seeing what is it like living as a family with a not so family friendly car. Can we go to the supermarket with it? How much can we load into the boot? Stuff like that should be fun. A research trip to Rome, obviously, as I talked about. A visit to Milan to see Nuccio's personal GT4. And finally, a full road trip to through Italy, with obviously stopover in Turin to say hello to Mr. Panico, loads of stopovers in Modena, as I've gotten to know so many people now in Modena that were in some way, shape or form involved with Ferrari in those days. So that's going to be really, really cool if I ever can do that. Honestly, that would be the most unreal year ever, but hey, I never thought owning a GT4 was possible, and look at me now. So I'll just keep on dreaming. If you want to dream with me, like, share, subscribe, and you might just make this happen. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope to see you in the next video. Cheers, bye.